The burger, a classic American sandwich that can be stuffed with and topped with pretty much anything you can dream up. It is also the perfect meal to satisfy just about anyone. So why not learn how to grill your burger from the pros? Joining me now, we have Chef Michael Ollier from the Certified Angus Beef brand, and we have some good-looking burgers, Chef Michael.
We do, and I think what's great to talk about is instead of toppings, we all talk about how these exciting toppings are good for a burger.
Sure.
But let's put some of those toppings within some great beef, and then you've got the makings for a perfect burger.
So let's talk about what you're starting with. What kind of meat is that?
Yeah, this is ground beef I picked up from Meijer, Certified Angus Beef brand ground beef. And the amount of lean to fat ratio is really up to you, whether it's an 85-15, 90-10. What those numbers mean are 90% lean, 10% fat. So whatever you're comfortable with, that's what you go with.
And we know fat means flavor because you got some over there, a little bit of bacon.
We do.
So, right?
So this is the to me, bacon cheddar burger. People love a bacon cheddar burger, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is about putting ingredients, like I said, within. So I chopped up some bacon. I sauteed some onions and added barbecue sauce and Worcestershire.
And that's simple. It's a simple mix. You just pour right in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then once that's made, then the cheddar within. And then you got to get your hands dirty.
Get dirty.
Okay? You just get into it as if you would meatloaf at this point, although I don't get as aggressive with it, meaning I don't want it to be real fine textured, but incorporate it, okay? So spend a good amount of time, but be a little gentle. Does that make sense?
Like folding it in.
Yeah, exactly. And then when it comes to the consistency, where it's pretty uniform mixture, I grab about, and for me, I like big burgers.
Yeah,
so I kind of know what it feels like to have a 3-pound burger in my hand, okay, overall. So I grab and then I start forming it. And to form a burger, I do a dimple kind of in the middle as I work it, and protectively create a wall around the outside.
Yeah, you have this technique down, and admittedly, my husband is way better at patting burgers. I make them and they shrink up to like this big. So there is kind of a skill, right?
A little bit of an art. And the thing is, most people, it's about just kind of getting it together, and then they create what looks more like a meatball afterwards. Because what happens when these cook, and we'll put this on here, it'll puff up in the center.
Right.
And so then that becomes a meatball in a bun. And
right.
Instead, you want to counter that by creating a concave interior on the dimple on the inside is how you do that.
That makes perfect sense. And you know, say if it's not bacon, it's not cheddar, whatever, you can kind of pick whatever toppings you like, right?
Exactly. So if you're a blue cheese one and you want some caramelized onions on top, put the blue cheese and maybe some blackening spice in, you could have a black and blue burger. So the possibilities are really limitless.
And the ratio, I guess, is that a pound of meat, 2 pounds of meat?
Good question, yes, because I do have some sort of rules of thumb in how much I put in. So for this is 2 pounds, so I'm going to yield 1/3 pound burger, so I know this is going to feed 6. But if I've got kids involved, this would be 6 to 10 people.
Sure.
So 2 pounds is what I do the recipe on, and that's what you can find on our website is the recipe for 2 pounds of grind.
And we're looking at this burger, obviously, and smelling it as it's cooking. So let's talk about what makes Angus beef burgers, you know, what we should look for and what makes those better than any other burger on the shelf.
Yeah, great question, because there is a little bit of what we call Angus confusion out there.
Sure.
Angus is a breed of cattle, and it's a great starting point for quality beef. But only 1 in 4 of those cattle can make it into our brand because of the tight specifications. The one that really eliminates the vast majority is the marbling.
Sure.
So those little flecks of fat within the lean, that's what we consider as valuable, and we want more of that.
That sounds delicious and perfect. And when it comes to actually making the burger, Michael, we're looking at kind of the specimen after all is said and done. You can still put your classic toppings on,
of course. So I like to take advantage of the grill space and throw vegetables and onions on especially. So I put some red onions on the grill and then just topped it with that.
And how do we know when this is done?
Oh, great question, because especially with ground beef, I want to make sure that it's completely done.
Right.
And so I look to 160 degrees on an internal read thermometer. So I just enter it into the side. And a lot of people, that's a good tip, a lot of people want to do this to check the temp. You want to take the temp of the grate? No.
Yeah.
You want to take the temp of the top? You're not sure is the point. So always use this and enter it into the side of a burger to get the reading on it.
All right, and then you get a perfect looking burger just like this. And for more grilling tips, more recipes, Michael, where can we send our viewers?
You can either go to the friendly people at Meijer, they're very good, or certifiedangusbeef.com.
All right, I want to thank you for being with us.
Oh, my pleasure.